إبراهيم. In the biotechnology course, the most improved student award goes to Faisal Bzawi. In the computer science app design course, the most improved student award goes to Sami Rajhi. In the cybersecurity and cryptography course, the most improved student award goes to Umar al-Maimouni. In the mechanical engineering course, the most improved student award goes to Abdulaziz al-Hamoud. In the medical sciences course, the most improved student award goes to Abdul Majid Sarhan. In the petrochemical engineering course, the most improved student award goes to Abdurrahman Rammah. In the space and rocket sciences course, the most improved student award goes to Bashir al-Dejani. Now I would like to introduce Mr. James Sitkovsky for the program director speech.
Hey guys. So today I would like to give you two pieces of advice. Piece one. I once heard someone say, follow your passion, stay true to yourself, never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path. In that case, you should definitely follow someone else's path. This is silly, of course, but it makes a good point, which is that a lot of this advice about following your passion and staying true to yourself, it sounds really good in theory, but it's actually pretty hard to follow in practice. What if you kind of like medicine and you kind of like engineering, and there's a tiny little corner of you that feels like you could be the next Kanye West? But maybe what if you kind of like medicine? I'd be thrilled if you made that choice. When you're filling in your application forms for university, and you're wondering whether or not you'd be happier living the next 40 years of your life as a doctor, or as an engineer, or as a struggling rapper, telling yourself, follow my passion, may not seem like the most helpful advice in the world. From the 28 years that I've been around, it seems to me that there are very few fortunate people who have passions like this, who know exactly what they want to do and where to go from a very young age, and who pursue this destination with single-minded determination. But for every person like this I've seen 20 people who either have no single ruling passion in their lives or who have many passions. This is me, for instance. I'm doing doctoral work in English literature, which I love, but I've probably spent about half my time at Oxford playing squash, which I also love. I play the piano, I teach, I work with Oxmedica, and I'm deeply, deeply interested in all of these different areas. I think the follow your passion advice can be really counterproductive if you're like this, if you're like me, because maybe you hear someone telling you to be true to yourself, and you don't know what this means, and you think there's something wrong with you. If this describes you, trust me, there is nothing wrong with you. I think the more intelligent advice would be to try to figure out what the best career will be for you, but don't worry about it too much, because you might get it wrong a couple of times before you figure it out. Sometimes you find out that a career wasn't what you thought it was. I know lawyers who fell in love with the beautiful logic of legal argumentation. After they graduated from law school and started practicing, they discovered that being a first-year associate in a law firm is more about staying up all night reading 400-page contracts and sucking up to clients. I know space and rocket science students who thought that they would be playing with spaceships and then discovered that rocket science is mostly about maths. And even if a career is what you thought it was, in the world we live in today, this career might not be around in 5 years. When my father grew up, the expectation was that you would get your first job after university and you would stay with that job until you retired at age 65. Today, graduates getting their first jobs after university can expect to change jobs, on average, 6 times in their first 5 years of employment. Different kinds of work are becoming increasingly automated. If artificial intelligence progresses it as the experts expect it to, many jobs we think of now as desirable and interesting and highly skilled are going to disappear completely. So what does this mean? Follow your passion, yes, if you have a passion, but be open to the possibility that your passions might develop, change, multiply as you get older. And be open to the possibility that you're going to make a couple mistakes and wrong turns along the way. The key here is to be diligent, persistent, open, and always willing to learn. If you can be the sort of person that people want to work with no matter what industry you're in, you will succeed. I can promise you this. Okay, there's the first piece of advice. The second piece of advice I want to leave you with is not to underestimate the places you can go or how good you can be. And I mean this in quite a specific way. When I was your age, I assumed that when you went to places like Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge, the people there would be different in a really obvious way, like they occupy some higher level of reality. One of the big surprises when I arrived in Oxford in 2011 to do a master's degree was how normal the people there seemed. In some ways, it was just like any other place. Some people I liked, some people I wanted to like me, some people I found annoying. They were just people, like the people I had been meeting all my life. This really hit home for me when I met a girl in one of the introductory seminars I was taking. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you get to graduate school, one of the big topics that a certain kind of person likes to gossip about is funding, i.e., who's paying for your studies. Some people get funding from scholarship bodies like the Rhodes Scholarship. Have you heard of the Rhodes Scholarship? Yes? No? No? It's a very prestigious, fancy scholarship that everyone in the world sort of desires. The Clarendon Fund is another big one. In science, graduate students often get funded from industrial partners who want to use their research, and so on. So in graduate school, people want to know where your funding comes from and how much you have, and generally speaking, if you have more funding than they do, they get annoyed. So this girl in the introductory seminar, she was very nice and friendly, and there was nothing particularly wrong with her, and we should always be nice about people, but having said that, let's just say she was not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And we had a 5-minute conversation, and I pretty much forgot about her. But later that evening, I learned that she was a Rhodes Scholar. She had the most prestigious scholarship that you could possibly attain at the University of Oxford. So I had thought that if you were a Rhodes Scholar, every word that came out of your mouth would reflect some sort of eternal wisdom, but I was wrong. It turns out that people at Harvard and Oxford. So I had thought that if you were a Rhodes Scholar, every word that came out of your mouth would be hard, planned properly, and made the right decisions at the right times. That's it. There are a few people who walk around like the guy in A Beautiful Mind, mumbling brilliant mathematical proofs to themselves and scrawling formulas on their windows. But for the most part, people at these universities are just like you and me. And you can be them. Work extremely hard, plan properly, make some good decisions, and you can be them. But for this to work, you need to work extremely hard. And this is the key, even when you don't feel like it. At the end of this ceremony, you're going to watch a video made by our wonderful photographers. And there will be scenes of you guys doing complicated-looking stuff in science labs. And these scenes will be accompanied by really inspiring-sounding music. And you'll think, yes, I can do this. I will be a hard worker. But then tomorrow, you're going to wake up and feel profoundly, profoundly tired. An academic is going to be the absolute last thing in the world that you want to do. That's okay. You've worked so hard these last 3 weeks that I can barely believe it. You deserve a break. But having said that, remember this. The trick is to work hard even on those days when you wake up and you feel like thinking about science and technology and engineering and mathematics is the absolute last thing in the world you want to do. And you can't remember why you're bothering to study 15 hours a week for the SAT. On a day when you graduate from a program like this, you realize that hard work pays off. But this day, this happy day, isn't like most days. On most days, you won't graduate. You won't be getting certificates. You won't be watching videos of yourself with inspiring music. The trick is to keep up your drive on those days too. Because if you do, maybe one day you'll get an email from Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge telling you that they'd love it if you would join them as an undergraduate. And then all of those painful mornings of study will be worth it. Guys, nobody wants you to be more successful than we do. Go out into the world, work hard, succeed, and let us know when you do. We'll be expecting to hear from you. It's been one of the pleasures of my life spending these 3 weeks with you all. Thank you, all of you, for sharing this experience with us. Thank you, all of you, for your sincere efforts.
We would like to thank Dr. Saud Al-Fadl for attending this ceremony and for making this program happen. Can we have Mr. James Sitkovsky, Dr. David, and Dr. Mohammed Saleh and Dr. Badr Musa to give the certificates for the ones who worked hard to make sure you guys get out with the greatest knowledge possible, the tutors. Firstly, Mr. Stephen Watts. دكتور شريف محمد. دكتور شريف محمد. Mr. Daniel Woods. Mr. Amit Anand. Mr. Zishan Arshad. غريب.
حاجة الدكتور؟ هو اللي طالبها.
اي اوكي. Mr. Thomas Payne. Mr. Timothy Little. Mr. Justin Rhodes. And last but not least, Mr. Fahad. Now let's not forget about the great people who made sure the classes and the content of your courses were delivered in the best way possible, the TAs. First, Mr. Asim al-Zahrani, the senior TA. دكتور علي الحدادي. مستر سليمان الجبيلي. مستر عمر العبد الوهاب. مستر عبد العزيز الحماد. مستر وليد الصديق. مستر ريان الدعفس. مستر محمد الطويان. They gave it their all through these 3 weeks. They made sure that everything ran smoothly. I hope you consider us as friends, if not as brothers. Can we hear a round of applause for the RAs? Mr. عبد العزيز الرشيد. مستر حسن خضري. مستر رائد الأحمري. مستر عبد الرحمن الهدلق.
زحمة.
مستر معاذ خبتي الغامدي. مستر مؤيد اليوسف. مستر نواف الفوزان. مستر محمد الزاحم. Mr. Nawaf Al-Hilal. Mr. عبد الكريم الحربي. مستر محمد الغامدي. مستر عمر البلوي. مستر مجاهد الشهري. Last but not least, Mr. مانع المهيدب.
So the next certificate goes to the person who I would say has probably done the most to make sure that everything has worked and run smoothly over these last 3 weeks. We would be utterly lost without him, and we want to thank Mr. Ahmed Al-Hwamani very deeply. And the other person who this program just would...
يا أخو كذا مرة ثانية هذه.
Now I would like to introduce the academic director of this program, Dr. David Pettit.
Okay, thank you, Mana, and salam alaikum. Okay, so honored guests, teaching faculty, RAs, TAs, support staff, the Mohiba team, and of course you guys, the students. I'd firstly like to start with a few thank yous for your effort, determination, and energy that has made this 2017 Mohiba Oxmedica International Enrichment Programme a resounding success. Thank you. So starting with the Oxmedica teaching faculty, who hail from some of the finest higher education institutes in the world, I thank them for their dedication, time, and effort in crafting what turned out to be truly unique courses that examined and critiqued the basic science underlying the STEM subjects and its further application to real-world functions. You've successfully broken down complex concepts and theories into manageable portions and challenged the students to think critically, analytically, and openly, and undoubtedly benefited their educational standing. So I thank you. The work of the tutors and their course delivery was intimately supported by a fantastic group of TAs who have worked meticulously and incredibly hard to ensure that our students have experienced a world-class teaching environment akin to that found at the world's best universities. You've made crucial contributions to your students' academic success and have shown both exceptional ability, dedication, responsibility and academic leadership throughout the course of this programme. Mr. Aston especially, you performed fantastically in the role of senior TA and cultivated an incredible team of individuals. Thank you. I now move to the RAs, our residential assistants. The RAs have worked tirelessly, day and night, throughout the duration of this programme and have given 110% in helping, supporting, encouraging and supervising our student body. You've all shown an absolutely extraordinary commitment to both this programme and your students and have demonstrated a warmth of character that is rarely seen in today's world. We've been extremely lucky to have you and sincerely appreciate your substantial contributions to the design, implementation and smooth running of the programme. Excellent job. Thank you. I move now to the support staff from the King Saud University and our photography and media team, who have worked incredibly hard, often behind the scenes, to ensure that our students have received the maximum benefit. Everything from outings and trips to time at the Estraha or sports on campus. They've been there for us reliably and always seeking to maximise whatever task is at hand. Thank you all from myself, the team and the students. Thank you. As Mr. James said, this programme would not have happened had it not been for one individual in particular. That individual is Mr. Nawaf. He has worked harder than any of us, day in and day out, for the last 12 months. He has shown the most exceptional dedication, zeal and determination to ensure that this programme was a success and has been absolutely instrumental in every aspect. My sincere thanks, Mr. Nawaf. Thank you. Working closely with myself, Mr. James and Mr. Nawaf was Ahmed. Ahmed has gone far above and beyond what normally would be expected of someone in his position and has done so for the benefit of those around him, whether it be the students, myself, the TAs, RAs or tutors. He has performed a truly excellent job in bringing together a stellar team of RAs and TAs who have functioned magnificently as a group, and I sincerely thank him for his extraordinary efforts throughout. Thanks, Ahmed. I must also thank Mr. James, our fantastic programme director, and someone who is essentially the glue of the programme. He has done a brilliant job in effectively and impactfully managing an incredibly complex network of individuals and events. Thank you, James. And finally, in case you thought I might have forgotten, it brings me to the students, perhaps the most important individuals on this programme. It was just under 3 weeks ago that I addressed you all over in the main auditorium during our orientation session. During that session, I explained to you all that this program would be challenging, sometimes tough, academically and emotionally. I also encouraged you all to try your best and take hold of this fantastic learning opportunity. I said that each and every one of you had what it takes to graduate from this program. And I'm pleased to say that I was right. You are some of the brightest, gifted, and most able students that I've ever had the pleasure to meet. You've excelled academically in your courses. You have successfully grasped innumerable complex scientific theories, and perhaps most impressively, you've managed to do this entirely in English, which is an absolutely incredible achievement. I've spoken to many of you personally and have been impressed by your intellectual curiosity, energy, and outlook on life. You all conduct yourselves in an incredibly polite and respectful manner and are truly great ambassadors for your kingdom. I encourage you all to keep up the good work, and no matter how tough it gets, you definitely all have it in you to succeed. Well done, and thank you. So your weeks of hard work and effort culminated in yesterday's presentation day. I think I speak on behalf of all the staff that we were exceptionally impressed with the standard of the presentations that you managed to put together. The presentations were challenging, covering everything from black holes to cyber wars and nanomedicines. And you all worked outstandingly well to deliver interesting, stimulating, and educational presentations. This actually made it extremely tough for us to judge and to decide who should be awarded the best research presentation. So, I will keep you in suspense no longer. The winners of the best presentation 2017 are, starting with Abdulrahman Al-Mullah, Mohammed Al-Atas, Khalid Al-Ghamdi, Suleiman Hafiz, and Mohammed Al-Sumayed. Yeah. And this was for their absolutely outstanding presentation entitled Are Intelligence and Adiposity Related? And a cross-sectional study. Well done, guys.
نواف هم معهم
The students. Best student.
We didn't give them minus man. Okay, after this. Huh? Yeah. No, we will do this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, excellent job on the presentation, guys. The standard was incredibly high, and it was very hard for us to judge. Marks across the board were outstanding. Well done. Okay, and finally, I move to a special award, which is the Academic Directors Award for the highest performing student across the program. And I think, as I explained, many of you have done absolutely brilliantly on this course. And it's almost a shame that I can't give this award to each and every one of you. But we had to narrow it down to one individual. So, the Academic Directors Award 2017 is awarded to Faras Al-Saig. Okay. And last but not least, we'd like to hand out awards and certificates for the King Saud University support staff who have performed an incredible job throughout the duration of this programme. I'm going to hand back over to Mana, who will return as Master of Ceremony. Thank you.
First, Dr. Badr Al-Musa. Mr. Sami Sara. Mr. Faisal Yusuf. Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Yahya. Mr. Nabil Al-Zahrani. Mr. Faisal Al-Qahtani.
منو؟ أبو بكر نمبر 1 المصور لازم نعطي كلمة حلوة عليه.
And the great cameraman, Abu Bakr Msaybah. Mr. Rami Ali. By the way, Mr. Abu Bakr and Mr. Rami, they did a massive job and a great job, and you'll see the film at the end of this ceremony. And we would like to thank Karde for their wonderful falafels and hummus. Now, we will have Nawaf Idris to represent you guys and address your graduation speech from Ox Medica Mohiba. Please give it up for Nawaf Idris.
Well, hello everyone. It is to my honor and pleasure to be giving a speech on behalf of the kingdom's brightest and most achieving students, ones that dedicated their time and efforts for the sake of their education. Nervous, clueless, unsuspecting, and ambitious are the perfect words to describe how I felt on my very first day. Now, however, I feel more inspired, enlightened, and passionate than ever before. And that is due to Ox Medica's partnership with Mohiba, which creates a recipe for an immersive and rich program, the likes of which have never been seen before. It forces us to solve problems, analyze, plan, work, imagine, collaborate, and lead. We've had courses that feed the knowledge, facts, methods, and solutions regarding fields and majors we are most passionate about. We've had lectures that guide us in our day-to-day lives, reveal our innovative selves, encourage us to pursue our dream careers, and even ones that inspire us to get a PhD. That, and a mixture of various insightful activities, equips us the experience needed to become emotionally, financially, and academically independent persons. To my fellow students, who I've referred to as my colleagues, and which I am more than happy to call my good friends, you have come a long way going through primary and middle school, standardized tests, and an intense 3-week program. Yet I remind you all, myself included, that the path to success is a journey spanning a lifetime, full of obstacles that stand tall on your way to self-achievement. You need not make excuses for yourselves, but rather acknowledge the difficult tasks ahead and tackle them with confidence and determination. And as the saying goes in boxing, one step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. I will not babble to you any more than is needed, but I have one more thing to say. I was fortunate enough to join this program, along with the leaders of our future nation. I was fortunate enough to be under the supervision of the RAs and TAs, who tried with all their might to ensure their students are comfortable and satisfied, and who were more than happy to solve our problems with all the meaning the term lightheartedly could suggest. I was fortunate enough to be taught by our amazing tutors, and I would like them to know that their work is much appreciated. I was fortunate enough to have coordinators and supervisors that plan and organize our schedules and work on a million other things that I do not know about. On behalf of myself and all the other students, I say, to everyone I have mentioned, along with janitors, maintenance, technical workers, logistics, and support staff, and every single person that have contributed to this program, thank you.
Thank you, Nawaf, for the wonderful speech. Now I would like to ask each class and their tutor to have a group picture up here. First, the biochemistry class.
علمتهم انه في فلتر سناب؟
اقول كذا
ما علمتهم.
الا قلت
ما حد شغل سناب حقه.
ما عندي تبي اقول
لحظه، ما حد شغل سناب حقه.
الا ايش ترى قاعد يفصل تبي
By the way, guys, we have a Snapchat geofilter if you guys want to use it. You're welcome. It's certain program, but yeah.
عندهم صحيح يعرفون. عندهم خبر.
Can we have the petrochemical engineering class? The app designs course.
Try it after.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be doing the photo.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mom, you should win in the car like that.
لا لا يدرون عنه قبل
واضح صح؟
إيه. ممتاز إذا
The biotechnology course.
Make it exciting.
Okay.
فيها أدل أو دل أو شيء دال إيه ما أدري والله الظاهر ليه إيه خلاص وقف وتعال ادخل كأنك راح تنزل الناس بسرعة راح لا والله.
Can we give it up for the Space and Rocket Science course?
أو باب كذا شكله غريب مفتوح عرفت؟ ادخل. لا راح من زمان. كم الساعة؟ 56. ايش كنا بعد شو فقرات؟
خلاص ما بقى الفيلم وخلاص.
الفيلم لا تقوله لين يجلسون.
ايه اكيد.
كم باقي؟
3. قد من نص ساعة.
عشان ياكلون سناك على كيف ويروقون مو زي العام يلا اركب
زين قومناهم بدري.
اي وينك عدلت فيه 60 مرة لين يزبط.
الله يعافيك.
لا يا مانع بدونكم انتم كفريق بعد الله سبحانه وتعالى ما نقدر نفشل الله.
Can we give it up for the medical science course?
يلا ما بقى الا 2 بصر فيها.
اي حقك وين؟ اي واحد فيهم
راح الحق.
ما صورت؟
الا صورت معهم.
كذا طلع الحالة
بدون.
والله كسبت انهم يحبون علي حجاجي صراحة.
ايه لا مشينا مبسوطين.
علي حرام عليك تكفى امشي. نحط البنر هذا بعد ما نخلص اللي تبون نحطه قدام الكراسي اللي ضاع كل شيء في الكراسي اللي تبون تسوونه سوي بس كلموهم قولوا بس بعد الفيديو انتم صوروا الفيديو
لا بنعطيك
اوكي حلو انا ممثلي حقي الفيديو لا تعطي الموهبة انا اعطيهم اياه خلاص ترى نعطي الموهبة ما حد شافها نصرف عليه الكلام عبد الله زين ترى ما حد شافها انا علمتك تعطيه الاعلان عندنا والله ما حد يقول خلاص ارسل تعليم اعطيني على الايميل ولا لا عرفتني يا سيدي انا بكلم ابو بكر ولا فلاش معك فلاش؟ اي معي في السياره 40 فلاش خلاص حق موهبه انا ما اعطيك كم ابعطيك لا الله يستر طيب بس عموما ايش قلت حققني جيمس ولا مدري جيمس ولا ديفيد
الاثنين ذولي
ترى اللي بيترجم واحد من الشباب مش يتكلم لا واحد ثاني جيد الطالب بس بيتكلم مقابل عربي واللي بيترجم اي عادي اللي بيترجم لكم واحد في مقابله جيمس بيجي
Can we give it up for the cybersecurity course?
انت مو زياده؟
لا مثلا اعطوني مثلا واحد تخصص كيمياء
مدرس
جهزوهم شوف اذا كان بيجي اذا بعد كلها لك مش واحد
في
انت تعطيه كم من واحد 2 3 انا عندي 8 تخصصات تبي 8 ولا تبي كم؟
لا ديفيد وذولا بيتكلموا عن تخصص
خلاص تبي خلاص امشي في واحد بجيب لك
بيجيب لك واحد.
نتكلم عن البرنامج ما نتكلم عن التخصصات الموجوده
هم
نتكلم عن
يقولون
الجامعه
اي
مين اللي بيقول هذولا؟ هم
ايوه اذا انا عندك انا محمد بنجيب 2 زياده
بيجيب لك محمد واحد
اي
ممتاز عندي.
طارق ولا
لا
سؤالين
يلا اترك على الخير بعد ما
سؤال من المختص ديفيد
Last but not least, the mechanical engineering course.
وين نوقف وزن؟
بس لا تقلق. ما في حاجة؟ ايه استنى. ايش يصير؟ ايش راح
يصير كل لا
كلهم بيطلعون فوق السلفي كذا. لا لا كلهم بيطلعون فوق ستيج. كلهم؟ اي والله بيطلعون كلهم فوق ستيج.
اوكي نسويها هنا.
سووها هنا.
سووا بس
والله اتوقع ستيج كبير يكفي.
رجع كراسي.
يقدر ما يقدر يسويها فوق ستيج؟
لا بس من حالاتهم اللي هم جالسين على كراسيهم.
كراسيهم؟ اي خلاص سووا كراسيهم ثم طلع على ستيج نفس كبير. هذا تبغى كراسيهم؟
كراسيهم او
اذا جلس كراسيهم اي علم اذا جلس كراسيهم يلا شباب يلا بقول 1 2 3 ونبي صوت. ها؟ خلنا نعقلهم ما خلاص قلها بس استنى شوي. خلصنا ما نقدر.
ودي بياخذ سيلفي كمان.
بياخذ سيلفي مع مين؟
مع الستيج كلينيكال كمان.
ايه لحظه وشلون الستيج هذا بيكون؟
يوقف الستيج بيصور كل مره.
اجل وهو عنده بعد خطه وش
نفس الشيء نفسه.
بس انت تبغاهم يصرفون.
ايوه
خلاص ديفيد خليه يصرف.
تصير
راح اشرح له ايش تبي. اوكي دكتور ديفيد you wanna take a snap right but selfie we're gonna make it as a snap or just a selfie.
اوكي اسمع السالفه. تو ليت. خلاص فيك اليوت.
Let's get everyone in there. We'll get stand at the front, in the middle. Just let them get seated.
ارتاح يا دكتور ارتاح.
Okay, gentlemen, everyone seated. Okay, we just want to quickly come to the front and take one big selfie and Snapchat. So on 3, when we count over here, I want everyone to shout Ox Medica and cheer, okay?
الظاهر ما يحتاج.
ابو بكر عند ليو احمد.
Wait. The lights. What is the lights? We need to turn the lights off straight away.
Are they ready?
Turn the lights off. Who? اللمبات. Okay. Okay, no problem.
دكتور ديفيد ما
Okay, shall I speak now? Okay.
عبد العزيز طفي لي نار عشان الفيلم.
تعال ما فهمت ايش قاعد تقول.
توقعت انه صراحه الان
Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, guys, we're just about to come to the last thing, which is the movie. About that, maybe you don't see them very much, but the final thank you for today goes to our wonderful photographer and our media team, Abu Bakr and Ahmed, who have just done a fabulous job putting this film together. So thanks very much to them. They're really tremendous.
In 2017, the King Abdulaziz and his Companions Foundation for Giftedness and Creativity, Mohiba, and Oxmedica Global Education hosted their first international program for male students in King Saud University. The program provides a challenging, stimulating, and engaging academic environment. Hand in hand, students are immersed in a collaborative community that contributes to their social and emotional growth. Oxmedica Global Education offers challenging academic programs for exceptionally talented and motivated high school students from around the world. It partners with institutions all over the globe to identify and develop the abilities of talented students from partner countries.
This year we're delighted to be partnering with Mohiba and King Saud University to deliver the Mohiba Oxmedica International Program for about 140 students from around the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The students are exceptionally talented, coming from the top few percentage points of all students in Saudi Arabia. And we try to make them better. We try to push them to do the kinds of work that they would find themselves doing in a university classroom, rather than the sorts of work they're used to doing in their classes here in Saudi Arabia.
The Mohiba Oxmedica partnership aims to bring Oxmedica's experience in educating students from numerous diverse countries to the kingdom in order to enhance Mohiba's own expertise and highly reputable programs. The Mohiba Oxmedica International Program primarily educates students in science, technology, mathematics, and engineering, STEM, in the belief that its students will be the future of Saudi Arabian leadership and innovation in these crucial fields.
We
specially crafted a number of academically rigorous courses for these students. Each student will run through a set program, and this will involve practical and theoretical applications and will culminate in a final presentation at the end of the program. We expect all of the students to perform extremely well and graduate at the end with an improved academic ability and also improved use of the English language.
The program offers courses in biochemistry, app design, biotechnology, cryptography and cybersecurity, mechanical engineering, medical sciences, petrochemical engineering, and space and rocket science. Classes are intensive and meet for 4 hours per day, 5 days per week. Students also undertake an additional course in academic English and entrepreneurship, designed both to improve their ability to express themselves in English language academic context and to learn how the innovative skills they learn in their core STEM classes can turn into the kinds of successful businesses that will form the backbone of the future Saudi knowledge economy.
We learned how to calculate the velocity and trajectory of projectiles and rockets. We also learned about physical phenomena like Doppler shifts and waves, and we learned how to calculate and predict certain behaviors of certain physical objects. I've been learning about ciphers and how to decrypt and encrypt messages in the 3 past weeks, and I'm really interested in the cybersecurity field after taking this course.
This program has been the best experience of my life, and it really opened my eyes to lots of new programs and new researches that I found myself that I need to do. So I would really like to thank everyone who's worked on this program and to make this program possible.
Tutors and management come from the finest universities in the world. In 2017, tutors hold master's and doctoral degrees from universities such as Oxford, Cambridge, King's College London, and University College London.
We've tried to encompass as much of the breadth of biotechnology as possible, but we don't just want to use awe-inspiring examples from across the different topics, but we also want to make sure the students understand how they work, understand the genetic mechanisms that underlie them. So we go over not just that we can produce rice that has more vitamin A, say, but we go over how did they genetically modify the rice, what genes did they put in to make the rice do that.
So they'll be starting from the absolute basics, and by the end of 3 weeks, they should know the ins and outs of how to use the Python programming language. In fact, right now, they're working on making their own calculator, where they can offer a user inputs and outputs, and possibly invent some of their own new functions, which I'm interested to see what they come up with.
King Saud University offers superb facilities for students learning, including state-of-the-art laboratories and computer equipment for the study of almost every scientific discipline. Students stay in well-equipped and comfortable dormitories under the supervision of a network of RAs. All high-achieving students from Saudi Arabian universities. Some RAs are even alumni of summer programs held at Oxford universities, and are particularly well placed to share with their students the value of the Oxford medical experience.
We are happy to welcome موهبة International Program and Ox Medica and King Saud University. We are working as a team to provide services and supports like hostel and restaurant for students. We hope to have knowledge for them and discover their talents to know what they want to be in the future.
In addition to their classes, students participate in a wide variety of enrichment activities. These include sports and games, insight workshops that introduce students to scientific research methods and different STEM career paths, team building exercises, movie nights with scientific themes, and eminent guest speakers from the scientific community. They also embark upon a series of field trips to cutting-edge scientific institutions. For instance, the King Abdullah International Medical Research Center, the National Center for Nanotechnology, and the National Center for Robotics Technologies and Intelligent Systems at the King Abdulaziz Center for Science and Technology.
Today we got to sleep in, and then we went to Jummah prayer. After that, we headed to the resort
to play football, play basketball, anything we want actually. And we ate lunch together. We had fun together.
We had a swimming pool, and we could do whatever we want with our friends. We had some free time. We could do whatever we want with our friends, and yeah, we had fun.
While it focuses primarily on academics, the program aims to enrich every aspect of its students' lives in an effort to help students develop into the kinds of adults who will find success as professionals, as leaders, and as citizens.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Abu Bakr. Thank you, Aleo, for the wonderful film. Okay, so we need everyone up here to have the group picture, but in order to make this in an organized fashion, we'll have the biochemistry class first. It's fine. Bring your certificates if you want to. Can we also have the petrochemical engineering class? The app designs course. The biotechnology course. هو يبي يصور من تحت على فوق كذا يعني. ديفيد.
لا عشان سناب شات. اي بتنزل سناب شات واحد من الشباب يكون على سناب. وليد صديق.
what class هذا أي class؟
نشوف إذا مرت.
Space and rockets please.
والله فكرة ترى.
ها؟ Guys, we need to use the stairs, so try to sit on the stairs. Habibi. The medical science course.
لعلها جيد الموهبة عاد.
لعلها حق الديوان نفسه يجيبون زي الدليل.
لعله ابو مشهور دكتور ريال شو؟
صغير.
لعله جيد بعد.
Can we have the mechanical engineering course? Guys,
ابو نزار تبي تاخذهم نتجمع عشان نطلع حبه.
من سامع؟
ايه
ايش تقول؟
اقول تبي
والله لا مرة.
تبي تاخذهم وين؟ على قناديل عشان تروح
مستعجل انت ليه؟
عشان نمشي ركن